Hi everyone, thank you all for joining. For the people who don't know me, my name is Lina Adada and I'm the nutritionist and product specialist at Forever Living Products Middle East headquarters in the Middle East, of course. And today we're going to talk about kids nutrition, as it's very important, of course, for you as parents to know how to take care of your children, what food to give them, and how to make sure that your children are being very healthy and are being their best selves. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about this in the webinar, and also I'm gonna mention how to have how to have a healthy back to school. Okay, so what some health tips and some healthy snacks and food that you need to pack for them, so that your kids will stay healthy and really have a strong immune system and can focus during school hours. So let's start with an introduction. As you know, many children and families today have busy schedules. These make it hard to sit down and to homemade meals every day. So this is why many kids now, like their diet is involved around a lot of convenience and also about a lot of takeout food. So a lot of fast food, because usually like easy food you get is not very healthy. But this food can be unhealthy, as you mentioned. They can have a negative effect on your child's health. And some of the problems unhealthy eating causes can continue into adulthood. Okay, so try not to give your children a lot of fast food or unhealthy food, because it can really have some negative effect on the long run, and can actually have, it can develop into lifelong diseases. So just start to from since day one, okay, from since they're young, give them healthy food options so that they don't develop any diseases then. So healthful eating has many benefits for children. It can actually stabilize their energy. Okay, so for kids that eat healthy, they have more energy than unhealthy kids. It can actually improve their minds. Okay, they can focus more at school, or in general. Also, it will even out their moods. Food that are kids that eat a lot of unhealthy foods can actually be very angry and aggressive because of the unhealthy foods they eat. So try to always feed them healthy food options, and also it will help them maintain a healthy weight. As we know, if someone if a small child is already obese since this age, it might lead to diabetes later on, or to heart problems, to blood pressure problems, of course, when he's an adult. So try to make sure they have a healthy weight. And lastly, also it will prevent mental health conditions like depression or anxiety. Okay, really, like everything you put in your body can actually have a negative or a positive effect on it. So try to always feed your body in a with some like healthy food options, and that will actually heal you and benefit you. Now, let's talk about back to school healthy eating tips. I would like to give you some tips that you can use with your kids. So, as you know, it's important to ensure that your kids are getting the best nutrition to help support their performance during school hours and also after school activities. So, one, you need to start with a healthy breakfast, okay? It's very important for kids to always have a healthy breakfast, because children who actually eat a healthy breakfast, they tend to have a more improved academic performance. Okay, so they can focus longer. It can also be a better attendance for them. They're not very hyperactive. Kids who actually eat a healthy and a balanced breakfast are also less likely to be overweight than kids who skip breakfast regularly. Okay, so always make sure before your kids go to school they have a healthy breakfast, and try to eat with them, sit with them, or you can just send it with them, but try to choose some healthy options. For example, like whole grain toast with eggs, some unsweetened whole grain cereal with berries. Just make sure the cereal that you give them doesn't have added sugars to it, because already the cereal can have, you know, high levels of sugar. So try to choose like whole grain cereals with fruits, for example. This can be really good and a better option than the sugary, you know, or sweetened cereals. Also try, you can give them like a toast with some nut butter or such like almond butter or peanut butter with some bananas. These are all also healthy options, and you know, like whole foods options for your children. I just want to remind you guys that the presentation is being recorded, so you can just watch it again and you can share it with your team members later on. And of course, as usual, I will like take all your questions at the end of the presentation. Now, so we talked about the breakfast. Now we need to also make sure they're not eating a lot of sugar. Okay, so try to cut out of the added sugars. So not like natural sugar is fine for kids, but added sugars, these are the things that you need to avoid. For example, you will find them in cookies, in ketchup, in sugar sweetened cereals, and sweetened yogurts. So try to give them plain yogurt, for example, instead. Okay, Greek yogurt is really healthy. Soda, try to avoid soda, or they can have it just like once every couple of weeks. Okay, so just make sure they don't get used to it. Iced tea is the same, and also fruit juices. Now, make sure you also always pack a healthy snack for them. Okay, introduce more fruits and veggies during the day, so that during snack hours, for example, like grapes, pears, peaches, celery, carrots, and hummus, for example. Apples, smoothies. So you can just make them a smoothie that can be really healthy. Like you add some fruits, some vegetables, and also unsweetened yogurt. This is my favorite, especially for children who would like to actually also gain a little bit of weight, who do not eat very well, or children who are picky with fruits and vegetables. You can just make them a smoothie. They will like the taste of it, and it can be colorful for them. So that can really help. Now, 4, make sure that they eat a nutritious lunch and dinner. So these are some options that you can give for lunch and dinner for them. So fill half of the plate with vegetables. Always make sure that half of their plate is filled with vegetables. Then the quarter of the plate should be from lean protein. Lean protein, for example, is like skinless baked chicken, baked fish. Okay, it can also be something else like, you know, if you want a vegetarian option, it can be like tofu. Okay, it can be some beans, lentils. They are also considered as starch or carbs, but still they also have protein in them. So like as we said, half of the plate is vegetables, 1/4 is protein, and the other quarter should be carbs or healthy starch. For example, like baked sweet potato, steamed brown rice, beans or lentils, etc. Okay, this is very important. This is what a balanced meal looks like, and this is what your children should eat every day for lunch and dinner. So a little bit of everything. Okay, then try not to give them a lot of fruit juices that you get from the supermarket or mini market, because actually they contain a lot of sugar in them. So try to give them the whole fruits instead, so that way they will get the natural fruit source from the fruit, like the banana, apple, or any other fruit, kiwi, rather than just drinking, you know, like fruit juices. But of course, if it's healthy, if it's freshly squeezed at home, then it's still fine. Now, choose also whole grain breads for their sandwiches, or whole grain crackers to increase fiber and satiety. So they will feel more full, and it can actually, and they have more fiber in them, okay, rather than just giving them the white sandwiches or the white crackers. So always opt for whole grain. Then lastly, pack water instead of sugar sweetened beverages. It's very important for them to stay hydrated. You know, children are very active. Sometimes they forget to drink water. They focus on all these sodas, iced teas, sweet things, but actually sweet things can really have negative effects on their health. Okay, so always try to give them, like every chance you get, try to give them water instead of sugar sweetened beverages. Okay, so they can just drink also as much as they want. And actually water can really help flush out all of the toxins in their body and just stay healthy in general. Now, Also try to make small shifts to healthier foods. For example, instead of whole milk, try to give them low-fat milk. Okay, this is important. Instead of soda, try to give them water or flavored sparkling water. Instead of white bread, try to give them whole wheat or whole grain bread. Instead of ice cream, try to make your homemade smoothie. So they can just help you make it. You know, you can just go to the kitchen. You can choose a few fruits, a few vegetables together, some yogurt, some ice, and you can just all mix it together in the blender. And make sure that they help you do it. Whenever a kid is choosing their own vegetables, their own fruits, they're making it with you in the kitchen, they're going to be more excited to try it. Trust me on that. Okay, so always try to include them in everything you prepare for them. Even, for example, if you're going to the supermarket to buy groceries for the house, try to take your kids with you, because it can actually make him more excited to choose healthier food options, to see that, to choose for them what they want for dinner, for lunch, for example, and then they can help you make it in the kitchen. For example, they can just cut it, of course, in a plastic knife or whatever they can help with. That way, they will not really, yeah, try to get them used to, I mean, eating homemade cooked food, okay, rather than just ordering McDonald's or any junk food. Now, instead of butter, try to cook with olive oil. Okay, it's healthier. Also, instead of cream-based salad dressings or pasta sauce, try to use oil-based dressings or vegetable-based pasta sauce. It's much healthier. And instead of potato chips, try to give them baked chips or nuts. Even fruits can help, just any other healthy snack. Okay, now of course, like, I know that our kid, like all children, they still would crave some junk food, some French fries from here or there, some potato chips. It's normal, and they should get it, of course, but don't give it as a reward to them, okay, or on their good behavior. No, just like make a rule, make a routine for them that, for example, they can have it once a week or once every 2 weeks or on a special occasion. Just make sure they understand that eating healthy food can actually really benefit their body and for them for the future. Now, things to consider. This is very important for the parents. So for the parents, be a role model. Okay, so you shouldn't just expect your kids to eat healthy, to just eat homemade food if you're not doing the same. Because children, they love to copy adults, okay, or especially their parents. So make sure to always be a good role model and to eat with them whatever they're eating, and to sit with them on the table, just so that they can see you and copy you. So for example, you also need to eat more fruits, more vegetables, so that they can start doing that. Start them young, as we said. Whenever you start, like making them used to having a healthy lifestyle, they will grow to liking this healthy lifestyle. So start them from a young age and make sure that they keep on following this healthy lifestyle. Also try to make sure that you put them in some activities, scholar activities, just so that they can stay active after school. For example, basketball, football, or just anything that they like. It can be dancing. Okay, just make sure that they have an activity to do, and just so they can stay active. Now, also try to focus on an overall diet, as we mentioned. Know what they should be eating. So you should also be monitoring their eating behavior. Make sure that they're not just, eating whenever they go to their friend's house, they're eating junk food, fast food. No, just make sure that you know what they're eating throughout the day. And don't force them to eat, okay? If a child is telling you that I'm full, I don't want to eat this, just trust him, because children, usually they know whenever they're hungry or whenever they're full. So if you make sure that, they overeat, that way their stomach is gonna get bigger and they might be, overweight and then obese. So you don't want that. So don't force them to eat. They know their bodies. Whenever they're hungry, they're gonna tell you. And just make sure they're eating a healthy, balanced meal on each meal. Now, of course, also try to put limits on their screen time. So they shouldn't just eat, for example, in front of the TV, in front of an iPad, mobile phone, all these things. They can actually make them overeat or eat more than they should and eat unhealthy foods and all. So make sure you put a limit on the screen time, and also they make sure that they have an activity to do other than just sitting at home and watching TV and being inactive. Okay, this is very important. Now also set a snack boundaries. Okay, so don't let them, for example, have a chocolate bar, then a chips, then ice cream all together in just one night. No, for example, they can choose one of these three. Just make sure you always have boundaries for them so that they don't overdo it and that they always take care of their health. So I hope this was beneficial. Now we're going to talk about the forever products, okay, that can actually be used from children, and then I will take all your questions. Okay, now from our range of products, we have a few that can actually be used from for our children, but you know, like the ones that are registered for children only are around 3, and I will tell you what they are. So we have the aloe berry nectar. Previously it was the aloe bits and peaches, but like it's discontinued now. So now we're gonna use the aloe berry nectar. You can give it to your children. So the aloe berry nectar is actually it has the same benefits of the aloe vera gel as you know, it's good for the digestive system. It's really good for the immunity. It has so many antioxidants because it has the cranberry and apple. So the flavor is also very sweet, and the kids can actually like the taste. And as you know, like the cranberry is really high in vitamin C. So it's really good for them, especially if they get sick a lot or if they don't have a like strong immunity. It can also help with, their urinary tract so that they don't have any, inflammation and all. But for children, like from the age of 4 upwards, they can use it. Okay, they can take around 15 milliliters. The 30 milliliters is actually for adults, 2 to 4 times. Okay, for children, it should be around 15 milliliters, like 2 times a day. So it's half the amount of the ones for adults. So yeah, it's sweet, it's mellow, and it's really good. So it's good for their digestive system. It's good for their health, and yeah. Now, the second product is the Forever Kids. Of course, as we all know, Forever Kids is made for kids and it's a multivitamins for them. It has so many vitamins, minerals. It has like some vitamins and minerals like iron, some phytonutrients, because a lot of children, they don't eat a lot of vegetables or fruits, so they lack phytonutrients. So they are also formulated without artificial colors or preservatives. And it is advised that children over 4 and adults, they can take 4 tablets a day. Okay, so they can chew it. And for children aging between 2 to 4, they can only take 2 tablets. Okay, just make sure that they do that. It also contains a lot of other vitamins like vitamin C, some, iron, vitamin K, all of these important vitamins for them. Now, the third product that is very important and also healthy for children that they should take is the Forever Bee Honey. So the bee honey is actually considered to be pure, it's easy to digest, and it's a quick, natural energy source for any occasion. So you can just, for example, give them 1 tablespoon before they go to school so that they be energized and they have energy, their immunity is boosted, I mean, and they can focus more at school. So it's really good. It has a great taste. Kids love honey in general, and yeah, it can be eaten alone or as a natural food sweetener. So you can just also add it, for example, to them on their fruits or in their smoothies if you want them to gain a little bit weight. So just be careful because 1 tablespoon contains around 70 calories. You don't want to overdo it. Okay, just but it's a great natural source of food sweetener. Now, of course, just avoid honey if you are allergic to pollen or if your kid is allergic to pollen. And honey, which is also made from pollen, may may cause allergic reactions. Also, don't give raw honey to infants less than a year old. Okay, so for children less than a year, don't give them honey. You can give them just whenever they're older, a bit older, like 2 years and above. Now, I didn't mention all like the other products because usually it depends on the age group. For example, we have the light ultra shake. A lot of people ask me if children can drink it. So here in the UAE, it's registered for 16 plus because it has some protein, and it's, you know, like a lot of protein can actually be, you know, like be hectic on the kidney. So make sure that if you would like to give light ultra shake, make sure that your child is a bit old, like around 8 to 10 years, and you can give them just like a quarter of a spoon or just half a spoon. Just they can mix it with milk and also drink it. Same for the omega-3 or the Arctic sea. So Arctic sea, as we know, is the fish oil, and it can also be given to children. But of course, just make sure that whenever they are at the age where they can swallow the pill, then they can take the omega-3. Don't give it to them if they cannot swallow the pill. This is why we put always 16 plus, because a lot of children, they don't know how to swallow. So make sure, for example, they're at least 12 years old, that and they are able to swallow the pill, then you can give it to them, because it's not good for to open the pill. All right, so these also like the aloe blossom herbal tea, if they want tea, it's fine. It's also like natural, it's healthy, and they can drink it, no problem. So this is my email if you'd like to send me an email, and my Instagram if you'd like to follow me. I post some, you know, like tips on nutrition. Now, of course, please go ahead and ask all your questions. I would love to help you and answer you. And I hope this one, presentation was helpful for you and your kids, and that they will go back to school in a healthy way. Just make sure that they always stay healthy, they wash their hands, give them the hand sanitizer, because you know, the COVID is still here, the pandemic is not over yet. Thank you for your comments. Now, also other products from Forever for like the creams, for example, for kids, they can use most of the creams. Okay, for example, if someone has a very dry skin, you can give them the jelly, the aloe propolis cream. This can really help and benefit children. We have a question. Can they use shampoo as well? Yes, they can. They can use it from the age, you know, from 4 years and above. Just make sure that it doesn't go in their eyes. But other than that, yes, it's fine. Tomorrow we'll have the same presentation, but in Arabic. So if you know anyone who speaks Arabic, they can join tomorrow at the same time.
Dear Lynn, can we ask question over here on the mic, or we have to type in chat?
No, it's okay. You can, of course, ask on the mic.
Okay, dear. Actually, there was a voice dropping once you were telling about Arctic Sea and kids. So how many tablets or soft gel they can take, like kids of 8 to 14 years old?
2 to 14?
No, no, 8 to 14 years old.
To 14. Okay. So around, you know, like, of course, half of the dose of the adults. So for the adults, for the Arctic Sea, they need to take 6 tablets. So for kids, I recommend 3 maximum. Let them start with 1 first, and then slowly they can increase it to 2 and then to 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Also,
it can be, it doesn't have to be for kids only. Yes, go ahead, please.
Excuse me. Another question is that like ultralight milkshake. So that should be a quarter of a scoop as a starting for 8 to 10 years. Am I right?
Yes, correct. Yes.
And with some fruits and with full fat milk or low fat?
It depends. So if they want to gain weight, you can give them the whole fat, whole milk. And if they want to lose weight, or if they're already healthy, you can just give them the low fat milk.
Okay, Lynn, I want to ask one more question regarding teenage acne or baby pimples the kids are getting these days. Usually I have seen it has started normally from the age of 8 years in the kids. So, the kids, they love milk. They drink milk. Normally, how many glasses of milk they should take? And in case of acne, regarding apart from our skincare, what should they take in the form of supplements?
So look, for the kid, for teenagers, we talked about it. Like they can, around the age of 13 to 16, let's say, they can take the bee propolis, okay, for acne. And also put the aloe propolis cream and the jelly on their face. This is for acne. Now for babies or kids, we do not have really a supplement for that. They can just take the kids, okay? And just also you can try to apply the aloe propolis cream on them, on the pimples. Now, regarding the milk, how many cups a day? It depends, of course, on each age. You need to check with the doctor actually for that. But usually milk is not very, it's not a problem for kids at this age, because they have lactase and they're not lactose intolerant, So just make sure if they are getting pimples because of dairy products, give them, for example, vegetarian-based dairy products that have calcium and vitamin D in them, that are fortified with these. For example, you can find almond milk, coconut milk, soya milk, all these vegetarian-based, plant-based, milks that contain some calcium. Because why do they drink milk usually, kids? It's for calcium, right? And they love milk, and with the cereal and all of that. So if you feel that they're having allergy because of the milk, some pimples on it, try to shift to the plant-based.
Thank you so much. This was a really big issue which I was looking around so I can address it now. Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to help. Okay, we have another question. What should I do for weight gain? I'm 20 years old. So Nida, I recommend for you that you can start by taking the Light Ultra Shake. Okay, we have a protein shake. You mix one scoop, for example, with whole milk or whole fat milk, full fat milk, with some fruits like bananas, berries, etc. And then you drink it as a snack twice a day. Okay. Second, you can also add some honey with the smoothie. So you need to take the Forever Bee honey several times a day as well. And make sure you're eating more carbs. So eat more sandwiches throughout the day, more pasta, rice. This will really help. Also, you can take some supplements, just like a multivitamin. It can be, the Forever Daily or the bee pollen. Any other questions, guys, before we end the presentation?
Hi, ma'am. I want to ask that, can we use the tooth gel for the kids?
Yes, of course. Tooth gel is for everyone. It's for the family, and the kids can also use it.
Dear Lynn, a short question. What is the difference between bee propolis and bee pollen?
Yeah, so we get this a lot. So usually how I differentiate between them so that it can be easier for you. So we give the bee propolis for people who have, for example, acne problems, okay, who have respiratory problems. So for example, like a cold, like a flu. We give the bee pollen just as a normal immunity booster, okay? So also to, regulate appetite and everything. So that's the difference between both.
Thank you again. Actually, I was writing with you because I'm taking notes. Yeah. Because sometimes you forget, and then you have to look into your notes and you can find it easily. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. I really hope to talk to you again very soon. We will do another presentation for another topic again. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I'll be with you again very soon. Bye bye.